Good afternoon, everyone. We'd like to welcome you to the Mesa City Council meeting for June the 21st. All of our council are present and in attendance at this meeting. At this meeting, we will be taking comments both over the telephone and internet. You can find multiple ways to participate in this meeting on the first page of the council agenda. Additionally, if you want to speak, you should submit a blue card 1 hour before the meeting. Again, you can find that information on the first page of the agenda and at mesaaz.gov/blue cards. Blue card. We'll begin our meeting this afternoon. I apologize, we had a pastor scheduled to offer our invocation. Our meeting ran long downstairs, so we've lost our pastor. So we'll begin this meeting with a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. So please stand with me for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The first item on our agenda in this meeting is to take action on the consent agenda. We invite Mr. Christopher forward to read the consent agenda.
Mayor, before Kevin starts, can I just real quickly, we want to recognize Tom Ellsworth. This is his last meeting with the council tonight. And Tom's been a trooper in the planning department for many years. Just, I guess, more, I know there's hundreds of zoning cases he worked on, but thinking back most recently, the council would remember our favorite zoning case with the inner loop and the Haas Crossing. That was Tom Ellsworth. He had to work on that project for 3 years. So he finally got it done, and now he's leaving us. No, so I just want to express my appreciation to Tom for his work. There's a lot of behind the scenes work that you all see later in the zoning cases. Tom probably had his hand on most of those. I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank him and recognize him in front of council. So thank you, Tom.
Amen. Tom, it's a big deal when the city manager calls you out and when you retire. That doesn't happen very often, but you deserve it. I think all of us here have had a lot of interaction with you, and you'll be sorely missed. So congratulations, and we wish you a great retirement.
Randy's leaving.
What's that? Is Randy Polakar also leaving?
Oh, well. Is he here? He's usually behind the glass somewhere. Where is he?
Okay.
Is he here today?
Downstairs.
Oh, he's downstairs.
We'll stop Randy in the hallway and tell him how we feel about him.
You know where to find Randy.
Okay.
But we want to thank him too, because he is leaving us. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
But Kevin's still here with us.
That's right. Kevin, we appreciate you too.
Okay.
Please proceed.
Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk will be considered as a group by the city council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion unless a council member or citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. Item 2, approval minutes of previous meetings is written. Item 3A, act on 1-year term contract with 4 years renewal options for real property, escrow, and title services for the engineering department. Item 3B, act on 1-year term contract with 3 years renewal options for walk-in groceries and general retail merchandise for various citywide departments and Strategic Alliance for Volume Expenditures Cooperative members. Item 3C, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years renewal options for seasonal ice rink installation and removal services for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 3D, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years renewal options for pest control services for city facilities for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Facilities Department. Item 3E, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years renewal options for particulate blocking fire hoods for the Mesa Fire and Medical Department. Item 3F, act on contract to purchase network switches for the Mesa Police and Mesa Fire and Medical Departments. Item 3G, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years renewal options for Glock weapons for the Mesa Police Department. Item 3H, act on 5-year term contract for the purchase of Axon Flex on-body camera equipment, supplies, and evidence.com storage and controlled electrical weapon equipment and supplies for the Mesa Police Department. Item 3I, act on contract to purchase real-time crime center equipment and services for the Mesa Police Department. Item 3J, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for pavement management solution for the Transportation Department. Item 3K, act on 3-year term contract with 2 years of renewal options for Teledyne ISCO equipment, parts, products, and services for the Water Resources Department. Item 3L, act on contract for Public Safety Training Facility Burn Building Project, Construction Manager at Risk, guaranteed maximum price. This project is funded by 2013 public safety bonds and the general fund. Item 4A, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into a sub-recipient agreement with the Arizona Department of Homeland Security to accept grant funds for equipment to support and sustain the police department's hazardous device team. Item 4B, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into a grant agreement with the city of Tucson to accept grant funds under the Arizona Warrants Apprehension Network Targeted Enforcement Detail to be used for overtime for the police department's violent offender unit. Item 4C, act on resolution extinguishing a portion of an 8-foot public utilities easement located at 1755 East Enrose Street to accommodate construction of a backyard swimming pool. Item 4D, act on resolution extinguishing a 30-foot public utilities and facilities and ingress-egress easement located at 3950 East Decatur Road as it is no longer needed for emergency access. However, access to maintain existing utilities in the easement will be granted. Item 4E, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into a foreign trade zone operations agreement for Foreign Trade Zone 221 with CMC Steel Arizona that will designate a subzone to allow for the operation of a steel manufacturing facility at 11444 East Germain Road. Item 4F, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the town of Gilbert to provide mutual backup ambulance services. Item 4G, act on resolution levying the amount to be collected by a secondary property tax and the rate upon each $100 of assessed valuation of property subject to taxation within the city of Mesa for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2022. Item 4H, act on resolution accepting a climate action plan for Mesa with aspirational goals that will inform consideration of actions within city operations and guide engagement of the public to identify community-wide operations. Item 5A, act on ordinance regarding ANX 21-00095. Annexing property located north of McDowell Road and west of Lehigh Road. This was initiated by the applicant. Item 5B, act on ordinance regarding ZON 21-00089 for property located north of McDowell Road and east of the 202 Red Mountain Freeway. Rezone of the planned area development overlay to allow development of single residence subdivision. Item 5C, act on ordinance regarding ZON 21-00191 for property located north of McKellips Road and east of Country Club Drive. Rezone to allow for development of a public facility. Item 5D, act on ordinance regarding ZON 20-00786 for property located west of Chrisman Road on the south side of Southern Avenue. Rezone of the planned area development overlay and site plan review to allow for a multiple residence development. Item 5E, act on ordinance regarding ZON 20-00872 for property located south of Elliott Road on the east side of Power Road. Modification to an approved planned area development overlay, a rezone, and site plan review. Item 5F, act on ordinance regarding ZON 19-00507 for property located north of Warner Road on the east side of Power Road. Rezone of the planned area development overlay and site plan review to allow for development of a large-scale recreation development. Item 5G, act on ordinance regarding ZON 21-00050 for property located north of Baseline Road on the west side of Sossman Road. Rezone of the planned area development overlay and site plan review to allow for development of a multiple residence development. Item 6A, act on subdivision plat, Wood Spring Sweens Baseline, located east of Mesa Drive on the north side of Baseline Road. And item 6B, act on subdivision plat, Cannon Beach, located at the southeast corner of Power Road and Warner Road. Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Christopher. Ms. Mickelson, do we have any requests from the public to speak on an item on the consent agenda?
No request, Mayor.
All right, thank you. I see that a motion has been made by Mr. Freeman, seconded by Mr. Luna. Please vote on the motion. Thank you. Motion to pass the consent agenda passes unanimously. The next item on our agenda is item 7, items from citizens present. Ms. Mickelson, do we have requests to speak under this agenda item?
We do, Mayor. We have 2 requests. One speaker was going to be on the phone to comment, but she's not on the phone. Then there was one comment, the speaker asked to have the comments read. Terry Benelli requests to speak, and she said, at this evening's meeting, it is my assumption that item 4H, accepting the climate action plan for Mesa, passed on consent. I would like to offer a suggestion that supports the planned concept of a roadmap to shape the community's vision for the future. I would ask that Mayor Giles and council consider and implement a community advisory board that includes residents that are hardest hit with the negative effects of air quality, increased energy and water consumption and their costs, lack of heat mitigation alternatives, and food system weaknesses. Constructive relationships between communities and institutions like the City of Mesa are necessary to lead to more equitable and sustainable decisions. Collaboration improves the livability of our communities and should start with residents at the table, helping to identify aspirational goals. As the plan states, and I wholeheartedly agree, this gives us a great reason to come together and collectively envision what we hope for Mesa's future. Those are all the comments, Mayor.
Thank you. So that we had a request from someone, but they are not on the phone right now. Okay. And obviously, we can't respond to Ms. Benelli's comments, but I would refer the community, we did on our consent agenda adopt our climate action plan. We had a great discussion about that last Thursday, and I would refer the community to that, the video presentation in our meeting last Thursday, because we are anxious for folks to know more about that.
Yes, Mayor, and we'll also make sure it's online so everybody can review it and encourage our community to review that plan. And then as we announce the community engagement meetings, want them to be part of that conversation also.
Right, a big part of the plan is community engagement, so there will be a lot of dialogue that goes on as we go forward. All right, Council, that concludes the items on our agenda for today. Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting? Thank you, Mr. Luna, seconded by Mr. Thompson. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. We are adjourned.